Hey guys, Freedom for Kaz here. This is going to be a short video today, and unfortunately it's a sad video. This is a response to the Jeffrey Feiger video that was posted, and as most of you know, I live in Michigan, and I'm sure a lot of this goes on throughout the country, but you really don't hear about it. But when it's this extreme about police violence and a 7-year-old girl, 7-year-old innocent girl who gets killed by a single gunshot from a police officer, it's very devastating to our community and in the state of Michigan. It's literally all over the news, all over the radio. It's everywhere, and you know, being in Michigan with the big three being so down and unemployment being well near 20%, if not higher, here in the state of Michigan. I'm sure it's higher, but you know, there's just tough times all over the place. And now that we have this 7-year-old girl, regardless of black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, Japanese, it doesn't matter. It's the fact. It's it's the fact of the matter that there was a suspected murderer in that house who had killed a 17-year-old boy earlier that day, but just like earlier in the week or the month they were looking for him. And they raided this house like in the night. I want to say it was like 12:30 a.m. Sometime in that time frame. But you know, as you watch the clip, they had so many police officers on the scene, and the, the one thing that they did is it was a very strange raid. The first thing they did is uh, they fired a flash grenade into the house. But some of the factors that were pointed out is that there were children's toys on the porch of this house, and it was obvious. It was clear and evident that there were children in the house. There were toys. There were other things on the porch. You know, there were other things that you could see through the windows that there were children in the house. And the way they went in and broke into this house was just totally totally absurd. And you know, a 7-year-old child ends up getting shot in the neck, innocent child who hasn't even really started her life yet, and she's now taken from us. You know, I'm a very even keeled person most times. You know, I'm not that kind of person to, you know, poke my finger at this guy or that guy or things like that. I mean, but things like this, it really bothers me, and it bothers a lot of people in the state of Michigan. I mean, everyone's talking about it. It's like there were so many different ways they could have gotten this guy out of that house. They didn't have to use a flash grenade, and they didn't have to use their guns, especially knowing there were children in that house. And it's very devastating. It's just said it's all over the news in the state of Michigan. You can't turn on the TV without it being on the TV. You can't turn on the radio without it being on the radio. And it's tensions are high, you know, because they haven't released the video that Jeffrey Feiger is talking about. They haven't released that yet. So everyone's talking about speculation. Everyone's talking about whether the officer was African American or Caucasian, you know, and the tensions are high in this city, in this state. You know, I wear my cross for a reason, and sometimes I ask the Lord, I say, Lord, what's going on? You know, what is happening to our society. You know, I'm sure the people who were living in the house had no clue, and again, it's just speculation, had no clue that the person who was staying upstairs was a suspected murderer. I mean, you just don't walk into somebody's house and say, "Hey, I'm a suspected murderer. Can I stay the night?" But who's to say? But even if they did know, it doesn't give them the right to go in there guns blazing and kill an innocent 7-year-old girl who hasn't even started her life. It's a very touching situation. It's very sad. And with everything going on in our country, it's just another log on the fire. Just another log on the fire. I don't know what else to say. I'm at a lost words. God bless everybody and protect your children.